Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Please ignore the background, please ignore the state of me. Today isn't the bulk of the video, I'm just introing it now. So tomorrow my new bookshelves are getting delivered. So I thought I would show you the book room now before the chaos of getting delivered and trying to build the bookshelves tomorrow. Because I need to take obviously everything off the shelves. Well, not obviously. I've not even explained what I'm doing. I am replacing some bookshelves with some new bookshelves. Most of the bookshelves are staying exactly where they are, but I don't like how I have laid them out. So currently, all of my romance books are on the top 3 shelves and all of my fantasy are at the bottom, and I don't like how I've done it. I want to go back to how I did it in my old house, which was fantasy on one side. I think I might do fantasy on this side, romance here, and then this thin one in the middle is like favourite books, favourite authors, like little showcase sections basically. We've then got these 2 small ones, one on that side and one on this side. All of the Harry Potter stuff in here is going, I don't know where, but it's just going. It doesn't bring me joy to look at. I don't really want to have it on display anymore. I've not wanted to for a long time, I just don't know what to do with it, so I've just kind of waited until I've redone this room. They aren't pants, by the way. It's like a little crop top. I've just not known what to do with this stuff, so it's just been here for now while I've not needed the space, but yeah, this will all be going. The books in here aren't going. These are all my dystopias and historical fictions. I am going to keep them. I just don't know where I'm going to put them. So both of the small bookshelves are going to be replaced with the same width, but just the full, basically these. I'm going to get 2 more of these thin bookshelves that are coming tomorrow. I'm not getting rid of the small bookshelves, I'm just going to move them elsewhere. I think, excuse the box and the pair of leggings on the bed, I think I'm going to put those small bookshelves, one here and one on that side, and get rid of that little cabinet. So like I've got some memorabilia for my dog and stuff which I'll put on the bookshelf when that goes there. So there will be some books in there definitely, but they'll be a bit more like decorative, leave a bit of space to use as like a shelf for anyone that sleeps in this bed as like a bedside table. So we will have a big shelf here, a big shelf here, and then these 3 are staying, but as I said, I want to rearrange all of my books. Anyway, this paint, I was going to paint this wall today, but at some point I am going to paint this whole room, and I don't know what colour this is because it was already like this. So we are still going to have a bit of an ugly paint corner, unfortunately. Obviously the bookshelf will be a bit taller, so it will cover the jagged edge, but there is still going to be an annoying bit of different coloured paint. But I just thought, like, I went to look at paint today. Let me spin this around so you can actually see me. I've just been to look at paint, and for a big tub it was £25, and for a small tub it was £20 or like £22. Do me the maths on that. But I didn't want to get a big tub because I don't know what colour I want to do the whole room yet. So I didn't just want to off the cuff buy one, and I'm too tired to think about that today. I've been out shopping for 7 hours and the paint shop was the last one we went in, and I wasn't going to buy a small tin for that much money. So I've just decided to deal with the ugly corner of paint for a few more months until I fully paint the room. So I just wanted to pop in today basically to say I'm going to empty off all the shelves. I'll come back tomorrow when the shelves are delivered, include a bit of b-roll of me building them, but the main bulk of this vlog is going to be tomorrow when we are actually fully rearranging these shelves, completely redoing them, which I'm so excited about. I've not been in love with them ever since I did them, since I moved in, so I am very, very excited. I love doing my shelves. Some people see it as a task, but I love redoing my shelves. It's now bookshelf delivery day. They aren't here yet, it's still the morning, hence why I'm in my pyjamas, my little Chiefs pyjamas. Anyway, it's delivery day, so I've emptied off the shelves. I'm just gonna wipe the shelves down, get them all clean, move the small shelves out of the way into their new spots, and then just wait for my new shelves to get delivered. Bookshelves aren't here yet, and looking at the tracking, I don't think they're going to get here until like 3:30 this afternoon. It's England and it's December, which means it's going to be dark by 3:30 this afternoon, and the lighting is going to be awful. I also obviously have to build them when they get here, so I don't really want to start building and putting all of these things on at 3:30. I've decided what I'm going to do. I'm not going to start fully getting most of the shelves ready. The middle shelf I can actually do, because that is going to be favourite books. I already have those here, I can do that. And then I'm going to start just generally mapping out where I think I want things to go. And then when the shelves get here, that means instead of all the books being on the bed and the floor, it means that they'll already be generally where I want them to be. And then any books that I know I want to go on the new shelves, I can just put to one side. Does that make sense? We're basically going to start doing the shelves now so that I don't have to literally start the entire process at 3:30 this afternoon when it's going to be dark. So without further ado, I'm going to start plonking some books on these shelves. I'm really struggling to find space for everything that I want to find space for, to be honest. Heartstopper shelf is really throwing me off because I don't really want it any lower down. It's one of my favourite series ever, but it doesn't really fit on a romance shelf. Like, yes, it's a romance series, but it isn't. Like, it's so much more than that. So I don't know whether when the new shelf comes to do, like, maybe the top two, split the Heartstopper stuff over 2 shelves and free up this one, because I also don't want my sports romances all the way down there. Oh, I don't know. I think I probably will do that. I will probably move these here and move maybe the small town up and then put the sports romance there. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I really need these new shelves to arrive, guys, so I can actually figure out what I'm doing. And we still have all these books to go on, which is fine. I feel like I do have room. I don't feel like I'm running out of space. I'm just running out of, like, logical space. Does that make any sense? Or, like, yeah, all these books could easily fit on these shelves, but I want it laid out in a way that kind of makes sense. And right now it's kind of not making any sense. Fully should have just paid them to build. The new shelves are in. Now, I understand that they're not centered with the wall. They can't be because of these drawers. That would be completely hidden, like the bottom half of that. So they're not centered with the wall, which I know might annoy some people. But I am so happy with them. I am so pleased that these shelves are finally in. I do kind of wish that these drawers didn't come out as much. Like, I wish it was perfectly lined up. I might be able to shuffle them along, actually, to make it lined up. But anyway, for now, this is where they're going to stay. We will have to redo the shelves again at some point when I inevitably paint this room. But for now, for at least like 6 months minimum, this is how the shelves are going to be positioned. It's now time to actually start organising these books. So as you can see, I've like plonked them on. But now we need to actually organise these shelves. I'm so excited. Okay, I think the books are all in place. I now have that whole pile over there of stuff, that like little trinket bits. So I'm going to go through now and put like my items back on the shelves. We also do have a couple of empty shelves, which is new and exciting for me to actually have space. So I'm very excited because I've got a lot of really great books. I hope they're going to be really great on my physical TBR for next year. So we actually have space to put them on the shelves, which is great. I think the shelves are done. This video, as I'm filming it, isn't going up for like another week and a half-ish, 2 weeks anyway. So I'm not going to do the tour now. You'll literally see it in a second, so it makes no difference for you. But for me, I'm not going to film the tour now because it's dark, completely dark outside now. The overhead light in here is vile. And I will inevitably tweak this over the next couple of weeks before I upload this video anyway. So I will do a tour after I've tweaked everything. But as of right now, I think they are done. I will also quickly show you the 2 small shelves and show you what I've done with them. So I have put the 2 small shelves on either side of the bed. I think it's quite cute. This stack of books is what I'm considering getting rid of, so they won't be there. But I think maybe I could put like, I don't know, my monthly TBRs on top of there. This one I want to leave. It doesn't look empty, but there actually is a lot of space on the top of there in case anyone sleeps in this bed, so they've got somewhere to put like the phone and a drink or whatever. But yeah, this is what these shelves are looking like. We've got historical fiction, classics, literary fiction and thrillers. Then on this side, we've got YA dystopia on the bottom 2 shelves and adult dystopia on the top. This is really annoying me. I can't lie, let me step back. It is annoying me now that it's off center. However, I think it's being made a lot worse by the fact that this isn't painted yet. I am just going to paint around it for the time being. As I've said, eventually, maybe in like 6 months to a year, I will completely take the bookshelves out, fully paint the whole room, and then put my books back on. I love reorganising my books anyway, so that's honestly not too much of a hardship for me. I will probably leave them much the same as they are now, but yeah, at some point this will all get shifted anyway so that we can paint the wall. I'm in two minds of what to do. I don't know whether to centre it and just accept that this will be like half, like these bottom shelves will be half blocked off. We could do that. Or we could leave these shelves where they are. I honestly think painting this will make a big difference because the colour of the wall is very similar to the colour of the shelf. So I think it will blend in a lot more when this strip of wall is painted. I also think it could be really cute to do some white floating shelves in this gap and put my Legos on there, because I have a lot of Lego in the other room and I am running out of room very quickly of where to actually put my Lego. So that could actually be a cute idea, to paint this the same colour as up here so it looks brighter, and then do floating shelves with Lego, which I think would balance it out without losing space on these bottom shelves. But I honestly don't know. I need to find something just temporarily to put in that gap, because it's annoying me that it's a gap. Up here I've just put some random bits in the shelves. Eventually, obviously, these shelves will get more full, especially the fantasy side. I feel like I've got a lot of space. The romance side, probably not quite so much. I'm happy with how they are looking. I'm happy with the general vibe. I am happy that I upgraded and that I've got actual space. I'm just not dead set on it yet. But I feel like that's always the case when you do bookshelves. I don't think I'm ever dead set when I do bookshelves. It always takes me a few weeks. So yeah, that is what it's looking like for now. I will pop back in. I've just seen something that I can put on that shelf. I'm going to put a reed diffuser up there. I will pop back in when I have tweaked and I'm ready to do the final tour. I'm so sorry that I'm having to film this clip when I've like just rolled out of bed. But we actually have sunlight, which means I just need to film the tour of this room whilst it is actually light enough to do so, because it is January in England. It's now January. It was December when I started filming this video. So yeah, I'm going to do the little tour. Don't worry, I'm not going to have me in it, so you won't have to see me looking like this for too long. But yeah, without further ado, let's just get straight into the tour of the new bookshelves. I'm going to try and keep the camera as still as possible. I don't even think, is that even straight? It is on a tripod, so I'm going to try and keep it as still as possible so this isn't shaky. So on this side of the room, we've got my romance shelf. So if I just tilt this back slightly, you can see at the top, I've got my Alice Oseman books there, and then most of my Heartstopper books. There are a couple of Heartstopper editions on that shelf that didn't fit down here. Here we've got Abby Jimenez and Ali Hazelwood. Eventually, when I have more Abby Jimenez books, these will split out. I will do an Ali Hazelwood shelf, these will move, and I'll do an Abby Jimenez shelf, but for now they all fit on one, so there they are. Below that we have my YA books, a few Lynn Painter. I do actually have an Alice Oseman down there because I really wanted to display this cover of Nick and Charlie, and I think it just looks cute where it is there. For now, at the bottom, if I tilt downwards a little bit, on the bottom two shelves there, we've just got magazines because I didn't have enough books to fill them down there yet, and I didn't want to leave them empty because you never want to have all of the weight at the top of a bookshelf because it could tip. So these are really, really heavy, so I've just put my magazines down there for now just to keep the bookshelf balanced. Moving over to the next shelf, up at the top we have some romance books. So here we've got some small town romances, my special edition of A Novel Love Story, a couple of summer romances by Carly Fortune, The Hating Game special edition, standard edition, and then just a few like non-rom-com-y romances. So the favourites, Before We Were Strangers and Normal People. On the shelf below that we have cowboy romances, so we've got some Elsie Silver books. We've got my done and dusted, what's it called, Rebel Blue Ranch series by Lila Sage, Soul Searching by Lila Sage, and then a couple of Mia Sheridan books. And then below that on this shelf here we've got my sports romances. I love a good sports romance, guys. These are some of my favourite books ever. We've got the Off Campus series, the Mile High series, and then my Mariana Zapata books. All Rose Lead here is not sports romance, but it is Mariana Zapata, and I didn't really want to separate, especially because her books are like indie copies, so they're not the same size as a standard paperback for the most part. I didn't really want to have it somewhere random on its own, so I've just left All Rose Lead here with the rest of my Mariana Zapata books. Below that we've done Taylor Jenkins Reid and Emily Henry together. I just feel like their books go together. They look good together. It looks like a cohesive shelf. Again, on the shelf below that, I have grouped together two series. We've got Magnolia Parks and Addicted Calloway. Then down at the bottom, sorry that you can see some wires, the extension lead is just down there. On the bottom shelf, we've got romances that I liked, but I don't really necessarily feel they need to have on full display. A lot of these are like OG Book Talk books. The Unhoneymooners, I actually gave 5 stars. I really love that book. Same with The Spanish Love Deception. I really love The Long Game. As I said, I like all the books on this shelf. I just didn't really need to have them on like full display necessarily, so they are down here. In terms of decorations on these shelves, these little things here that you can see, like the little squishmallows, these are actually from McDonald's Happy Meals a few months ago, which is so rogue, but I think they're so cute and I love them. I especially love the little vampire one down here at the bottom that I've put with my 2 Jenna Levine vampire books. I don't know, I just think these are so cute. And then I also have these mini Labubus that are definitely fake that I bought when I was on holiday in Spain. I got kind of addicted to them and I bought myself like one every day whilst I was there. So they're just dotted around as well, and again, I just think they look cute. Moving around to this middle shelf, so we've actually got no books up on the top, which is nice because it means we've got a spare shelf. I think I mentioned earlier that this middle shelf is like favourite books, favourite authors, favourite series. So it's nice to have that spare space so that as I read more favourite books, I actually have a place to put them. I'll probably do this as like just a collection of like my favourite books that I read this year maybe. There are favourite books on these shelves, like Funny Store rate 5-star, Daisy Jones 5-star, From Luke Love with Love 5-star. Like if it's not on the shelf, it doesn't mean it's not a favourite. This is more so for favourite books that don't have a place somewhere else and it makes sense for them to have their own little space, if that makes literally any sense at all. So yeah, we've got a full shelf spare at the top. So I've just put a couple of trinkets there for now. Below that we've got my Shatter Me shelf. Like, do you see what I mean? It's its own series. It makes sense for it to have its own space. Below that we've got a few editions of Red, White and Royal Blue. I will get a bit closer in a sec, or like do some overlay clips or something so that you can see these books in a bit more detail. But yeah, we've got my copies of Red, White and Royal Blue with a couple of decorations. Below that we've got my special editions of Divergent. I have my standard editions of Divergent on a separate shelf on the other side of the room currently behind me, but these are the anniversary editions and they are unreal. Below that we've got Boys of Tommen, and then I didn't know what to do down on the bottom shelf. I didn't know where to put these books and I didn't know what to do with the shelf, so kind of randomly we've just got 2 indie books down there, Ivy and Punk 57, 2 of my favourites. They're different sizes to other paperbacks, which doesn't really bother me. You'll see that I have quite a lot of different sized books together, but I just didn't know where to put these. Are 2 of my like classic favourites from a few years ago, so I just thought they could have their own shelf for now, but they might eventually move somewhere on this shelf with like the classic BookTok books maybe. Okay, and then moving over to the other side of the bed to my fantasy shelf. So up at the top we have my Hunger Games shelf. This is a favourite series of mine. I prefer it to Divergent, but I used to have it on one of these little shelves in the middle. But now that the new books are coming out, I just wanted it to have more space. Like I had a spare big shelf, so I just thought, why not have a bigger Hunger Games shelf? So there that one is. Below that we've got a shelf of some favourite fantasy books of mine. Prior of the Orange Tree actually isn't. I gave that 3 stars, but I didn't have anywhere else to put it. So that one is there, but all the other books on this shelf are favourites of mine, other than, again, Wild Reverence, but it just fits because all of Rebecca Ross's books are there. But The Night Circus, Addie LaRue, the Emily Wilde series, Our Infinite Fates, The Divine Rivals Duology, absolute favourites. Stunning, love them. Again, on the next shelf down, we've got some favourites. The Cruel Prince series is an absolute favourite of mine. This shelf is more dedicated to YA fantasy. I will get, again, some closer clips because I know the sun is completely blaring out some of the books on this shelf at the minute. I keep my book cart here, but I kind of slide it across as and when I need it out of the way. So I'll move it now so that you can see, obviously, the books that are behind it. So underneath my general YA fantasy shelf, we've got my Stephanie Garber shelf. Below that, we have my Sarah J Maas shelf. She's not particularly a favourite author of mine. I just have so many of her books that they naturally kind of fill a shelf. And then down at the bottom here, again, we've just got fantasy books that, like, I don't necessarily feel the need to get rid of them, but they're not favourites. So I've got all my Leigh Bardugo books, the Fourth Wing series, which went so downhill so quickly, and then we've got the 5th season, or what's it called, the Broken Earth trilogy by N.K. Jemisin. On this bottom shelf, I'll just do this while the camera is down here, we've got basically, I think pretty much, yeah, all of these are fantasy books that are the first in a series, and I don't know whether or not to continue the series, so I haven't unhauled them yet, but they don't fit on any of the series shelves because I might not end up continuing the series. Above that we've got my Dark Academia books there, and then randomly The Will of the Many by James Islington, because again just didn't know where else to put that one. Above that we've got some hardback fantasies which are becoming series, and I think all of the next books are coming out this year. Brimstone is already out, but I'm not buying it because it doesn't match my edition of Quicksilver, and I actually didn't really like Brimstone that much, so I'm going to read the 3rd book which comes out in November. And then if I absolutely love that one and it restores my faith in the trilogy, then I will get a copy of Brimstone and whatever the 3rd book is called. first book in the Diabound series and the first book in the Arcana Academy series. Above that we've got my Brandon Sanderson shelf, so we've got the Skyward series and then the first Mistborn book. I don't know if I'm going to carry on with Mistborn. I didn't love this first book, but for now I'm going to keep hold of it. My library has all the audiobooks, so I'm thinking what I'll probably do is borrow it, listen to it on audio and decide if I want to continue the series or not. Above my Brandon Sanderson shelf we've got the Legends and Latte series by Travis Baldry. And then right up at the top, this has changed since I filmed the beginning of this video. We've got a little Rachel Gillig shelf. Again, I will do close-ups of these so that you can see them properly. But we've got my little Lego book nook and then my Rachel Gillig books next to it. That, I believe, brings us to the end of this video because I showed you the shelves next to the bed. I'll quickly do a pan of them, like over this whilst I'm talking, but they haven't really changed, I don't think, since I showed you them earlier in the video. So I won't bore you by going over those again. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up down below if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!